Have you ever heard of a supershear earthquake? There's been a lot of chatter about it in the news, so let's talk about it. Bottom line up front, supershear quakes move faster and pack a stronger punch than regular earthquakes. But what are they? To understand that, we need to talk briefly about how earthquakes work and the waves that they produce. First, faults don't just break all at once like this. They kind of unzip like zippers, and they usually unzip or break the ground at speeds of about 3.5 kilometers per second. While they're unzipping, they produce different kinds of waves that we feel as shaking. One of those waves is called a shear wave, and it moves at about 4 kilometers per second. So faster than the fault rupture or that unzipping, right? Every once in a while, that rupture moves faster than the shear waves, creating like a shockwave effect, similar to a sonic boom, but inside the ground. The result is longer and more intense shaking along the fault, especially in the direction that the fault is rupturing or unzipping. So these are simulated earthquakes of magnitude 7 plus. And yes, I know what they look like. Let's all try and be adults about this, okay? This one is a regular earthquake moving at like normal speeds. And this is a super shear event. The colors indicate the levels of shaking, and you can see that the super shear one has higher levels of shaking over a broader area. Now, these super shear earthquakes seem to only happen on one kind of fault, a strike-slip fault. So these types of earthquakes, super shear earthquakes, were theorized to be possible as early as the 1970s, and laboratory experiments in the 1990s showed that they were physically possible, but they were not directly observed until 2002 when a seismic sensor was close enough to this big earthquake, the magnitude 7.9 Denali earthquake in Alaska, that it was able to record data confirming super shear behavior during that earthquake. But it was thought that that was pretty rare. Now we have seismic stations in more places, we have better data, and so super shear earthquakes are being seen more often. In fact, there have been 67 strike-slip earthquakes greater than a magnitude 7 since 1999, and 19 of those events were super shear events, including the recent earthquakes in Turkey and Myanmar. So could this happen in California? Probably already has. The 1979 Imperial Valley quake showed super shear characteristics, and the 1906 Great San Francisco earthquake may have been a super shear event. So California also has a lot of strike-slip faults that are possibly capable of producing super shear earthquakes. So what do? First, we make sure that we build buildings and other infrastructure that are capable of withstanding strong earthquake shaking. We can also increase seismic monitoring across the state so that we can capture these earthquakes when they happen and understand more about them. We all individually need to have an earthquake plan and know what to do when we feel earthquake shaking or receive an earthquake alert. Drop down to the ground, take cover underneath a sturdy object like a table, and hold on until all the shaking has stopped. California is earthquake country. Don't be scared, be prepared.